right, everyone, thank you so much for coming. It's a privilege to stand in front of you here. 2 years since we've launched the Evesham Save Lives program. Just a quick reminder of the program itself. The program runs 365 days a year. From 9 p.m. to 2 a.m., we take residents of Voorhees and Evesham home from Voorhees and Evesham residents, from Voorhees and Evesham bars and restaurants. Behind me, let me introduce everybody. Chief Christopher Chu of the Evesham Police Department, Rick Brown, Evesham Mortgage, Pete Jarocki of the Great Chickies and Pete's. My left, Mayor Mike Mignona from Voorhees, Chief Bordy from Voorhees, and Craig Ewer from Uber. So we've got everybody up here that is good to answer questions. More importantly, got everybody back here who was part of this wonderful program from the inception. And when I called the chief in August of 2015 and said, you know what, Chief, we need to come up with an idea of how are we going to get our people home safely from our bars and restaurants. And we first started with the help of Monica Vandenberg, our Deputy Township Manager standing over there, who Monica at that time was in charge of senior services. So between her and our Township Manager, Tom Chernetsky, we came up with an idea to bus residents to and from for about a month. Thankfully, Uber stepped in and the busing came to an end quickly, and the GIF was happy that the busing was discontinued. So the program itself and where we are today. Where we are today is at a level of which I never thought we'd be. The Evesham Save Lives Foundation was created just for this purpose. The Evesham Save Lives Foundation has spent over $10,000 towards bringing people home safely. Between the busing and the Uber rides, we've brought anywhere between 5,000 and 6,000 people home in just 2 years. We've seen a dramatic drop in DUIs in that period of time from Evesham residents coming home from Evesham bars and restaurants. The Chief will be talking about that in a minute. But we talk about in politics private-public partnerships. Well, today is truly the day that we can proclaim the success of a private and public partnership. You have a private entity in the Evesham Save Lives program, and you have private, very successful businessmen who've decided to be part of this program. And then, of course, you have the public entity and the police departments of both towns. The only way programs like this work is there's a buy-in. And I want to thank the 29 bars and restaurants in Voorhees and in Evesham who've bought in, who've donated to this program, who've come to our fundraiser, which we have once a year on the Saturday before the Super Bowl, and have worked hard with their staff to make sure people take Uber home. So behind you, I'm going to quickly flip behind you. This is the Uber app. And this is the app of which gets a touch confusing at times. But the way of which, in order for you to get home, is you go to your Uber app. Some of you don't have an Uber app. How do I know? Because after we've arrested you for a DUI, you said, oh, I don't know how to use Uber. So let me suggest to those of you who are watching right now, if you don't have Uber, please download Uber. It's a simple download. It takes about, 30 seconds. So between the hours of 9 p.m. and 2 a.m., instead of picking Uber X, Uber XL, Uber Black, or Uber SUV, you scroll all the way over to the right and you pick Evesham. Once you are at that point, you then select it and it will direct you to your way home. Now, some people, not naming names, Rick Brown, occasionally take Uber X and get billed for it. Okay? You have to pay that. If you don't scroll all the way over to Evesham, you have to pay for your ride home. But when those rides average $5.84, I think you can handle the ride home. I was at one of our local establishments 2 Friday nights ago. And I was asked by one of the patrons, Mayor, how do I get home? Him and his wife had been out all night. They took an Uber there, pulled that app up, and within 4 minutes, they were headed home. So what we want is starting this week, we are going to prepare all the bars and restaurants with mandatory testing, What we're going to do is really almost put together mandatory programs where we are going to go out to all the bars and restaurants and meet with the managers, meet with the bartenders, meet with the staff to show them how this program works and how they can best help their patrons get home safely. So at this time, I want to introduce an outstanding police officer, more importantly, an outstanding chief, and somebody who I've been partners with for 11 years here in Evesham, Chief Cho, Chris Cho.
Thank you, Mayor. Again, I want to reiterate the importance of this program. Back when we started talking about this, I've been here for 20 years plus, in law enforcement 21 years, and we were at a point where we were looking at historic levels where we were arresting Evesham residents coming from Evesham establishments. And the common excuse was, I only live a mile down the road, 3 miles down the road, and we were finding out that that was where we're having the biggest amount, or the largest increase in crashes. So I think I could speak on behalf of Chief Bordy, who I work very closely with as an organization, and share very similar beliefs in this fact is with DWI arrests, we found out we can't arrest our way out of this. This is something that was, at the time, in Evesham, a systematic problem. So when I spoke to the mayor and the township manager, we figured we had to do something. And then, yes, I applaud the mayor for taking the drastic action of having a bus go around to our facilities and drive people home. But it was very successful, and word of mouth got around to our residents very quickly. We started getting a reputation as a police department of having a zero tolerance for people that decide to get behind the wheel and drive while intoxicated. And I'm proud of that, because we owe it to our community to protect the innocent people that are going home each and every night to their loved ones so that they don't get killed in a DWI crash. So as a result of the mayor and the manager's initiative of the bus, which led us to the great partnership with Uber, we have seen dramatic or drastic decreases in DW arrests of Marlton residents leaving Marlton establishments. And I'm proud of that. We're on pace this year to have almost 60 less DWI arrests than we had in the prior years before that we were averaging. And that's a lot. And I don't know if it's because of our high visibility deterrence, but I think a lot of it has to do with this initiative that doesn't cost anything to the taxpayers and allows us to continue to do our job of protecting the innocent. And I'm extremely proud of the partnership that we had with our township, our bordering township, to bring this program to the community. And I just want to thank again our officers and Voorhees officers that do a great job of keeping our citizens safe. So I'll turn it back over to the mayor. Thanks.
So I sent Mayor Bignona a text soon after we started this, and I said, hey, we have this program started. Would you like to be a partner in it? He responded yes like 30 seconds after I sent that. Didn't want to know much more about it. Yes, it's a great program. So Mike's a Democrat. I'm a Republican. But as I say in local politics, that means nothing. Because we pick up trash, whether you're Democrat or Republican. We get the calls, whether the tree's down, whether you're Democrat or Republican, and we get the calls if the fields aren't cut, if you're Democrat or Republican. But one thing that Mike and I are, and we believe in together, and that's the people that we represent. And Mike's a friend. He's a dear friend, and he's somebody that, if I lived in Voorhees, I'd vote for him for mayor, because he puts his town first. So, ladies and gentlemen, Mike Bignona. Mike.
Thank you, Mayor. And it is true, Mayor Brown texted me and I responded immediately because it sounded like such a wonderful program. The one thing that we agree on very strongly is that as elected officials, the safety of our families is the most important job. It's our most important role, is keeping them safe. This program, as Mayor Brown said, has provided thousands of people safe rides home. In Voorhees, we have seen a significant decrease in DUI arrests as a result of the 2 years of this program. And we will also continue to educate our bars and restaurants about how to better take advantage of this program. We're going to meet with each of them, as they are going to do here in Evesham, and make sure that they understand how the program works and that they're able to share the program with their patrons. The most important statistic as a result of this program cannot be quantified, and that is the number of lives that have been saved as a result of this program. We will continue to work strongly. You want to get there?
It's not mine.
Okay.
Come on, Craig.
It's too early for Uber.
See, he's got a ride. You got a call for a ride already.
We don't know the number of lives that have been saved by this program. If it's been one, then that's important. But I'm confident that many, many lives have been saved. We will continue to work with Evesham to make sure this program is successful. And I appreciate the participation of all the bars and restaurants that have been involved in it. It's a wonderful program. Thank you.
All right, Craig, well, since your iPad went off, I'll actually let you talk now, okay? From Uber, Craig Ewer. Craig.
All right. Thank you, Mayor Brown. Sorry about that. So yeah, thank you, Mayor Brown. Thank you, Mayor Minona, Chief Crew, and everyone for being here today. My name is Craig Ewer, and I'm from Uber's New Jersey team. So it's an honor to be with you all as we take important steps to raise awareness about the dangers associated with alcohol-impaired driving. So as you know, 2 years ago, Evesham became the first town in the United States and perhaps in the world to offer free Uber rides home for those who shouldn't be behind the wheel. Voorhees joined the program soon after, and in just a few months, as we've just heard, the results have been tremendous. So thanks to the leadership of Mayor Brown and others here today, these communities are setting an example we hope others can follow. By making it easier and more affordable to get a safe ride at the push of a button, we can begin to turn the tide on drunk driving, something that's core to our mission of safe, reliable transportation no matter where you are or where you're going. Since we came to the region just a few years ago, we've been focused on finding ways to make our streets safer. In Philadelphia, we've partnered with Mothers Against Drunk Driving to raise awareness during the holiday season. Earlier this summer, we teamed up with the HERO campaign on the Jersey Shore to provide a free Uber ride for anyone in New Jersey who takes the HERO pledge to be a designated driver. So arming people with more safe transportation options does lead to better decision-making before hitting the road. So by providing a reliable ride at the push of a button, no matter the time or the place, we at Uber hope to help people make better, safer choices. We all have a role to play in keeping our communities safe, and it's an honor to see this vital program extended once again. So thank you to Evesham and to Voorhees for inviting us here today, and thank you all.
So let me bring my partners up here, my business partners. Come on, Pete. Okay. So for any successful private-public partnership, you really have to have buy-in by the people who it will affect the most. And Robert Kelly lives in Marlton. My brother lives in Marlton. Pete's moving his business to Marlton, as you guys know, with the Great Chickies and Pete's. I'm just hopeful it's going to open sometime before 2020. Yeah, I get two questions. This is my every day I get two questions. Mayor, how did you guys do over the weekend? Not many people follow Ravens down here. And number two, when's Chickies and Pete's opening?
Thank you. Thanks.
So we know how we did over the weekend, but is there any chance that we're opening sometime in the next 2 years, or what's your thought?
Hopefully before New Year's.
So it's great that, let me go backwards a minute. Pete and my wife and I go back many, many, many decades, and the relationship is deep and deep-rooted. And for us,
never cashed that check from your wedding. I maybe give him one.
So when you have somebody that is possibly one of the top entrepreneurs in the city of Philadelphia's history, think of that. Think of what him and his family did from the scratch to where they are today. And my brother and Robert Kelly, I mean, these guys literally had a couple dollars to rub together and decided to put a wonderful mortgage company together. And now they're one of the leading mortgage companies in the entire state of New Jersey. And they're based right here in Marlton. So not only is he my brother and my younger brother, but that's hard for me to say. But
Everybody sees it, don't worry about it.
they've gone ahead. They've gone ahead and make a difference where we live. So without further ado, all right, I'm going to turn it over to Pete, and then I'll have Rick and Kel talk for a minute. But Pete,
Thank you, Mayor.
floor is yours.
I appreciate it. First, fortunately for us, we came to this community, Voorhees and Marlton. I've never seen anything program like this. You know, impaired driving is impaired thinking. That's really what it is. And what this program does, it takes thinking out of it. Because the people think they can drive home. And what this will make is it'll make it easier for the township, for the patrons that are on the street that aren't impaired, and it'll make the bartenders and waitresses and servers educated, so the impaired thinker doesn't have to think for themselves, and the server can get them home. So this is a great program, and on many different townships in New Jersey and Pennsylvania and so on. I wish they did it everywhere. I think they should be commended. It's something like I've never seen, and it's well worth the fee, the entrance fee to this program. So thank you.
So we'll say here, Pete, you can take your check out now. Thank you. So there's no fee to be involved, but Pete was kind enough when we asked to contribute to the program that Pete is going to be contributing $1,000 to the program. So Pete, on behalf of the township and more importantly, our Evesham Save Lives Foundation, thank you for the contribution.
I think it's a great idea. Thank you. Thanks.
All right, floor is yours.
All right, great.
Rick Brown.
Growing up in Marlton, naming our company Evesham Mortgage with a resident of Mark, get over here.
Figure one ball guy was enough.
When my brother came to me and said he's starting this program, as a guy that likes to frequent nice establishments with his wife, it was always a difficult thing of how the heck am I going to get home? Because I did enjoy drinking more than one martini every once in a while. Going down to the library and Catelli's and Voorhees and Marlton Tavern. Over here in Marlton Tavern, I could ride my bike home, but I still couldn't get in a car and drive home, and I would never do that. So when they came to us, I went to my partners, and we started off with a $2,500 check to start the account, and that saved a couple 200 rides. So we will always be involved in this program, as we are with almost anything that happens in town, because me growing up here all my life, I love this town. Robert Kelly has 4 boys, and all of them are driving. The last thing I want is Robert calling Chief like what just happened, and all of his boys use Uber that are old enough to drink. And it's such a great, tremendous program. We will be in it forever. We absolutely love our police force and Chief Chu and how they treat the residents and the safety of the residents. But some of you don't really know how this started in my brother's eyes. A little while ago, one of my neighbors was leaving his girlfriend's house and was driving home, and he got killed by a drunk driver. And I think that was one thing that really smacked my brother across the face of how important it is to get something like this done. Because there's one thing about everybody in this room in Marlton, all the police officers here, all the politicians and all the employees, they only care about Marlton residents' well-being. And every decision they make because of Marlton residents. And they do wonderful, wonderful things, every single one is. I can only speak of what my brother says about the folks in Voorhees, but we'll always be involved in Evesham Saving Lives. At some point in time, I am going to figure out the app. I continue to contribute, but then I continue to still pay Uber again, right? So I'm going to figure it out. I have a picture of the app right now, so hopefully it'll work. Or I'm going to show my wife the news clippings and she'll have to figure it out. But we have our check, and you don't have to ask for it. There's our check from Evesham Mortgage, and thank you for
so
everything
much.
you do.
Thanks, buddy. Thank you. You guys know, when you have family involved. But talk about my brother, and it's the coolest thing to live a mile from your brother. It's the coolest thing to talk to your brother every day. It's the coolest thing to be involved in the same sport as your brother. And it's the coolest thing when your brother believes in what you believe in. And for him to take the time to say, I know this has nothing to do with mortgages, but it has everything to do with our town. And it means a lot to me, and it means a lot to us together. So that'll pretty much conclude it, except I just want to thank all the media, the print media, NGTV to come out today. Paul, we'll get this up and running. Obviously, there must have been some triple shooting in North Philadelphia that took precedent over any of the local TV to come out today. So I have a council meeting at 4 o'clock, so I'll elaborate on that at 4 o'clock. But those of you that came out today to actually spread the good news of initiatives that those of us as elected officials, those of these men and women who put these uniforms on every day to try to make sure that this town and these towns we live in are safe for every single one, that, I'll stand in front of this camera every minute of the day and thank those men and women who put their lives on the line, and thank those elected officials who do everything they can to make the towns which they serve safe. and whoever carries it's going to carry it. But I'll tell you what, you can go to my Twitter and Facebook because I'll put this out today. So thank you all for coming. Any other questions, we'll do what we normally do at the end. We'll just break off and we'll stay up here. Okay, thanks, guys.